I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyler Fackrell, the linebacker. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Over here. Get that ball. Get that ball. Watch the edge.
On 1st down, this is Adams. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Here we go. Here we go. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Adams hauling it in from Rodgers. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Packers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 3. He'll buy some time right. The left side completion to Jones. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th.
Over. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And that is going to be incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Eagles defense able to hold. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
Here we go. Watch the slip. Sunday. Hey, Steve 6. Hey, let's go. Got one.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Great 15. Great 15. Bravo. Mike 51. Mike 51.
Now wins. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox able to record his 5th sack of the season. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece. 7-7 our score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there.
Back north. Hey, check 24. Check 24.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go. Here we go.
They run on 2nd down with Adams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Green 18. Hey, it's coming up. Hey, put a 50. Green 18.
To throw on 3rd down. Rodgers. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was the veteran safety Malcolm Jenkins who got a hand in there to disrupt it.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Switch. Be ready. Check 93.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. He's going to have the first down past the 20. And all the way up to the 46. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
On first, they go right back to Howard. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Wentz now to throw. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here we go. Lady. Rip left. Check 26.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. Now Howard stripped. He lost the football, and the Packers pick it up past the 20. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. So many times tight games decided by one big play. A lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know, head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one fielded at the 5. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. On first down, Wentz. That ball's caught. Aguilar, right side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Here we go. 20! Sunday! Check.
On first down, they run with Howard. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I
Here's Wentz to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, and it's third down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Working from the gun, Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Thought they were going to force a fourth down. Instead, P.I. gives him the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Here we go, here we go. 180.
On first and 10, here's Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, second and 2.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing again on second down. Wentz, he'll hit Jackson, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal? They give it off here to the tight end. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Dallas Goedert, his first touchdown on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Elliott good on the extra point, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Check. Any weapon.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Again, here's Adams. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Hey, let's go. Let's calm the crowd. Let's get the ball. Inside. 51, Mike. Mike 51. They're going to need some therapy after this.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Forced out to his left. He's got Adams on the hookup. The end result, 21 yards.
We always talk about our admiration for quarterbacks who can extend the life of a play and create another play off of one that appears to have broken down. Should we come up with a different term for Aaron Rodgers? Because he's taken it to a new level.
He loves life outside of the pocket, doesn't he?
He certainly does. Very comfortable out there, and it usually results in good things for Green Bay.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10.
On the 50. Wipe up.
Now Jones. And he's taken down inside the 30. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Rodgers on the money to the tight end, Graham. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jimmy Graham. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Crosby with the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Wentz. Right side caught by Jackson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing on first is Wentz. Going for the deep ball. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
It's a party now. It's a party now. 51 to Mike, boys.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Shotgun now for Wentz. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Za'Darius Smith drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Nowhere to go that time. It's a 46-yard punt with a loss on the return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive and you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
They'll run again with Adams. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Adams, and he will get the first down as he's up to the 20-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll run on 1st down. Adams. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. That kind of looked like a defense fed up by being gashed in the running game all night.
Yeah, and imagine their coach saying, if you're fed up on that play, where were you the rest of the time? What took you so long? But flip it over to the offensive side. They've been dominating this thing, and to finally have a play go against them, that's not something that's going to make them feel very good this evening.
You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11.
Get 300. Get 300. You draw quarter. Mike, Mike, 51. I know he ain't got it.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, 626. He's coming. Double up.
And the blitz does come. Flush to his right. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Man, 5-7. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost him.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Wentz to throw for it on 4th. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. And no, they can't connect on the pass. So that gets the clock down to 11. Time for probably 2 more plays. Got to go quickly, though. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Check 15. Check 15. Roll right. Roll right.
On 1st down, Adams. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger. and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Green Bay, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign.